Well, it's Sunday morning. Obviously, I got home last night and I got to sleep in my bed. Yay! I forgot how good my bed feels sometimes. But anyway, so my morning is going to start with getting through and answering my fivers, which I get up and check every morning when I put my eyes on, and make sure that I complete these. Now my day is really going to be pretty jam-packed. I haven't seen my family, like I said, for approximately a month. I've been on the road. This is a little bit like the modern day Gypsy. You know, people just don't come to us anymore. It's about us being out there and getting out there to other people. So this is why it can be quite strenuous to some people that are doing what I'm doing, and for others I've been afforded that little bit of a luxury. And yes, it does come with its own pros and cons. You know, I love traveling, I love meeting people, I love those opportunities. However, in the same token, I also do need to realize also that my family is very supportive of what I do, but it does come, you know, where you're not staying in your own bed every night. You're not doing the things that you normally would do. You are missing birthday parties, or you are missing specially little events, not big ones, because I do make sure that I'm here for big ones. Like for Christmas, in my year this year to host Christmas, so Christmas will be quite big because all my kids come home. And like I said, you'll get to meet each of my children. So I guess, where am I going with this, you know, vlog? What am I doing? I'm inviting you into my life to show you what it's like to be in the life of a psychic or a clairvoyant, and how every day counts for myself. It's like I don't just get up and go to work and close the door and I'm home and this is it. My life continues. For me to have a business, to be able to be one step ahead, to understand technology, to advertising, to, you know, everything hinges, because there are so many people out there that are doing what I'm doing. And this is not about me resting on my laurels and saying, oh, you know, hey, it'll just happen. It doesn't. You need to be on top of situations. So that's where I'm at. So if I have a little bit of a teary and a little bit of a cry, that's part of what it is. It's like it can become emotionally sensitive. You can become emotionally feeling very vulnerable, because I'm dealing with all different emotions every day. So basically, I'll get on. Check out my Fiverr. I have special gigs on there that have to be done within a certain timeline. I do this because it offers a service. I know that every morning, that between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m, 7 days a week, okay, that I'll probably have an express order sitting in there. That's wonderful. Now, of course, I have different variances of levels when it comes to my Fiverr. So with that, I just make those changes. So that's good. You know, I look at where my client base is. I look at how can I provide a service to them, and a good service, not one that is 3 sentences long, because what Fiverr is, it is a site which you offer a service for what they call $5. And of course, you know, some readings are $5, some maybe 15, 25, 30, whatever. And you then hope that somebody wants your service, and when they take your service and they utilize that service and you answer them back, okay, then you tend to find from there you gain another person that will come on because they leave a review or feedback. So it's very instantaneous, and it happens to be good financial backing, which is fantastic, because we don't always get clients in every day. Well, I don't every single day, but I do if I use Fiverr. And I guess Spirit just brought that into my life more so, because I used to use Fiverr just to get my logos done and, you know, little services like this. So this is really good for me. Now, I'll do this. I'm going to go and check my emails. I'm going to have my cup of coffee, because everybody has to have a cup of coffee to wake up. Well, because I'm on the road a lot, that means I need to be super organised, and I need to know where I'm going, what's going to be happening, what events I need to have organised in the meantime. So like most, I do have a pretty full agenda, and of course we're getting to the end of the year. So we're going to be focusing on me putting together 2018. Who would have thought this year has gone so fast? Because of my travel, I need to also think ahead as far as accommodation, the location that I'm in, whether it's going to be viable for me to be able to work, is it within a distance for me to be able to travel and to be able to do what I love doing. So what has happened is, and this is kind of a bit of a long story, but I'm going to condense it down to you. I had a relationship earlier this year, and it was one that I thought was quite beautiful. And of course that relationship, after about a 2-year radius, did not really go the distance due to circumstances really out of my control, and obviously this person had their own issues to deal with as well. So as Spirit had, come June, I'm literally moving back home to be with family because I'd relocated. I'd spent a lot of time traveling in between, but however I relocated. So I'm currently in my daughter's garage at the moment. This gives the whole household some space, and because I'm not really home that much out of the time that I've moved home in June and we're now in November, I think I've spent all up maybe about 3 weeks sporadically throughout time that I've actually been here. So this enables me to come and go, to leave my space and to be able to go out and do what I'm doing. Now Spirit opened up another doorway for me, thank goodness, because otherwise it would be costing me a fortune in accommodation. And I was lucky to land a very beautiful opportunity through home sitting. So I home sit my way around, and that gives me a chance to have a wonderful bed, having amenities, but also giving something back. And the people that I've met have been absolutely amazing, and they're fur babies too. I mean, it's been a real journey in itself. So Spirit opened up opportunities in which I've still been able to do my work, still being able to travel, but also being able to have that luxury of a beautiful place to stay in, a wonderful neighborhood in which I can get to know or explore that environment, which has been what I think is pretty much a blessing. So now that that's out of the way, and you can understand why I do a lot of traveling, also it enables me to catch up with an extensive client base. Now I work all over Australia. I work worldwide via the internet, but over Australia I have a very strong client base, and I've built this over a 30-year radius. I started off very small when I did. It started off with $25 in my purse, as people say, and advertised, and from there it just grew. Was blessed to have, within my first 3 or 4 years of business, to have my own radio program. I've written for several small self-budgeted magazines. I've had, that opportunity, and I've kept productively quite busy. I've designed my own products and so forth. But anyway, this is about what we've got the agenda coming up. So in 2017, this year, I designed what was called psychic dinners. And of course, I would spend time going across to certain towns which I have visited for many, many years. So I have a very strong client base there. And so the psychic dinners enable me to read for everybody instead of, just sporadically just reading for this one or that one in doing a live show. I chose, look, people in this day and age, you work hard for your money. When you're going out for an event, you're having a beautiful meal and entertainment's there. You want something that you can take from that as well. So I thought about this, and I thought, to be able to do this is something that I love, I'm passionate about. It also gives people a chance that would not normally go and see a psychic or a clairvoyant, a chance to actually have a reading and to go, oh wow, it's not that bad. It's not, all daunting or negative news, or she's not going to tell me something I don't want to hear. Although that does happen sometimes, but not in this occasion, okay? So it gives me a chance to be able to connect with people one-on-one. And these psychic dinners have actually been quite popular. So for instance, I go across to Mudgee, and there is a wonderful lady over there called Isabella, and Isabella owns a Italian restaurant called Isabella's Trattoria. And there we generally book between 60 to 65 people to come through to enjoy a wonderful meal. And each person gets a mini reading, a couple of minutes, answering a question, whatever. I go from table to table. So this has been quite productive, and I feel very grateful that I've had that opportunity. And then I usually stay a couple of days after that and do face-to-face private readings. And this can be quite hectic because, as you've learnt in previous vlogs, I have, you know, a capacity to read back to back, and if I've got 15 people or 25 people, that's how my day will go. I will read back to back until I finish that very last person, and then I'm ready to have something to eat. I'm ready to go and unwind and, you know, clear myself and cleanse and ground again for the next day. So they tend to be very full on, but I don't feel that that's something negative. I feel that's quite positive, because generally, you know, everyone would work a week long. You go 9 to 5 or, you know, 7 to 10, whatever your hours may be. And you tend to work all week, where I tend to work in chunks and blocks. Yes, I have my daily business, which is through the internet and phone calls and so forth. However, I also have what I call my chunk, and my chunk of business will actually come through a planned event or a town visit. And generally this is people, or through people that have said, hey Carolyn, we know you're traveling through here, can you come and visit? Or we've got a wonderful group that for you to come and read. And I will generally fill that space with that group, and if it's in the morning, I will choose, you know, to advertise to fill that afternoon. So I'm not double crossing myself. I'm not just going and reading for, you know, 5 or 10 people. You know, I'll make that a full day or a full weekend, or sometimes a full week of readings. So what happens is also with the home sitting, when I know that I'm going to be in a certain location, whether it's for a week, a month, or, you know, a long time, because there's no use just doing it on a weekend. I will generally advertise that I'm going to be in and around that area, and I talk to people about getting on board, booking a group, me coming in and doing those readings. Sometimes I might get an individual reading, and other times it generally is a booking of a group. So being organised is very important for me. There's no use being where I was years ago, where I just got up and whatever the day was. No, I have to have a bit of a plan. And for those that know me, sometimes that plan can change at the last minute. My daughter calls me the instant person. You got to do it now, Mum. You know, you don't have that patience to wait, and that's probably the truth too. As soon as I say I'm going to do something, I tend to do it. So this is all about me being organised. So I've got my 2018 calendar. This one obviously is a little bit smaller, and I'm going to be filling out my locations and areas so that I'm prepared and planned. I'm also going to be expanding my events and situations like that, but I need to pre-plan ahead, because there's no use waiting to 2018. Others are probably already booked a venue or already in that area. So I need to make sure that I'm really one step ahead. And that's what this is. It's about being one step ahead. Everybody's doing what I'm doing now. There is so many people out there that are on their spiritual path, that are doing some beautiful work with people. And even though I may be very popular in my area and people may know who I am, and if you don't, you should. No, I'm only kidding. You will find that because of this, the influx, it's about people being able to say, hey, oh, Carolyn's coming back, or oh, she's got this going on, and being able to be involved, being prepared, because economically this is also being respectful that people work very hard for their money, and when they're coming to an event or coming to have a reading, that they've got that time of not having that pressure, knowing that financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever, that they're ready to enjoy this. So this is what my events calendar is all about. And I'm going to have to spend a couple of hours here trying to get this all done now, because it's coming to the end of the year and I'm going to get busier as I go along. I've got a massive month in November. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so today I'm going to be spending a little bit more time doing this before I spend some time with my family as well, because they're all still asleep. God love them. I'm up bright and early and they're all still asleep as well. Oh, hello. Meet my little granddaughter. Hello. So hello everyone. What's your name?
McKenna.
McKenna. So I'm going to be spending some gorgeous time with you today, aren't I?